Hello everyone and welcome to the Heart to Heart YouTube channel. I have my friend Melissa here with me. Melissa, say hey.
Peace, y'all.
Today's video is about barriers to growth. What are some of the things that prevent you from reaching your highest self? What are some of the barriers that prevent you from optimizing and reaching your fullest potential? So she's going to cover some points that will go over some of the barriers to growth.
Exactly. And what stood out to me and things that can affect how you grow as an individual and mentally, your circle of influence has a big impact on where you are physically and mentally in your life. And the circle of influence are basically close people you have around you, be it family, friends, associates, anybody.
So who's in your circle?
Mm-hmm.
Who is in your circle?
So yeah, if you have friends that are, not going anywhere in their life, then more than likely you will fall into that same path. So you just want to make sure that your circle of influence is being as productive as you want to be in your life. So that could be a great barrier to your growth, is your circle of influence. And then another thing that stands out to me is negative people. Like, they can really hinder your growth and be a barrier to you just moving ahead in life. And if those people are envious of you, then it's really going to have an ill effect on your mental and spiritual growth.
Your growth, your potential, because a lot of times their negativity, they see the potential in you. Mm-hmm. What you may have in mind, what your goal is, they see that potential, and so they will transfer that that envy, that jealousy onto you to stunt your growth.
Yeah.
People are not always being negative because they're just criticizing you. They don't want to see you reach the next level. So they know if they project that negative energy out to you, then that can stunt your growth. So knowing who is in your circle, being surrounded by people that motivate you, that encourage you, that inspire you. If you a person that, you got goals, you got something you trying to reach for, then you have to be surrounded by somebody or people that are helping you and holding you accountable for your goals. And one thing I can say about all my girlfriends, they all play a different role. I have a close connection with them all, but they all play a different role. But one thing I can say about all of my friends that are really close to me is they help hold me accountable, and vice versa. Mm-hmm. It's not me just taking from them or them just taking from me. Right. We pour into each other.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Actual facts. So yeah, and then you have people that are negative in all under the guise of, I'm just keeping it real. No, there's always a better way to say and do something. But when you put negativity in it, then it just affects you. It'll affect you in a negative way. So that's another thing that, another barrier to growth, is being around people that are just constantly negative. Also, someone who confines you or places your personality, your characteristics in a box. When you are striving to think outside of the box, they are striving to keep you inside of the box, mm-hmm. Which will, of course, stunt your growth. Like, there should be no ceilings, no limits placed on you, especially when you're striving to grow.
Right.
So if you see a person or an individual like that in your life, then that's a person you want to check to see, do I need you in my life mm-hmm. right now? When
what value do they really bring to the table?
Exactly.
If they just put you in a box, people, you could be growing. You could be birthing a better side of you, but mm-hmm. someone that still wants to see the old you can sometimes continue to bring that up. Exactly. They're minimizing your growth. Mm-hmm. And so they keep you in a box of where you used to be when really you're trying to move forward.
Exactly. Yeah. And Just misguided hate is another thing that can be a barrier to your growth. And we see that a lot in situations where females are no longer with their male counterparts or their children's father. And so that can also stunt your growth, because you're holding so much disdain or hate for this man that it's not allowing you to see the love that can be shared between the two of you to benefit your children. Like that will stunt your growth as well. Like you can't come to where people are. You got to make them meet you where you are, and let that be a place where it's on a higher frequency, a higher thought process. To show them like we can do this without.
We can co-parent. We don't have to be in a relationship to be able to co-parent in a healthy way.
Right. Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, the one that hurts the most is not the adult, but the child. And I've spent a considerable amount of time getting it from the man's perspective, the importance of fathers being in their children's lives. But here soon, I'm going to spend just as much time the role of a mother mothering their daughters, you know, and whatever relationship that did not work out on either end, you know, the impact that it makes on the children when, like she said, when people place you in a box, sometimes you have to let water be under the bridge. There's a reason you stand on top of the bridge and not under.
Right.
So no matter what has transpired, sometimes you just have to let water be under the bridge. Take yourself out of that box and continue to grow.
Exactly.
And in anybody that stands that's in your circle that stops you from growing, and you have to know the difference between criticism for the wrong reason and constructive criticism to take you up to where you try to go.
Exactly. Yeah. So those are all some of the things I think about when I think of barriers to growth. And there's this quote that I think of where it has a butterfly, and it says, "I didn't change, I just grew."
Okay.
So, you know, most people think when you off to yourself, bettering yourself, that, oh, you think you better, or no, I'm just trying to grow. And that's very important when you keep individuals that aren't interested in seeing you grow, or even if they are, just focusing on yourself and focusing on yourself.
Because we make time for other people at a time.
Yeah.
Most of the time, even though we are the ones that live with ourselves 365 days a year, 24 hours out the day, we spend the least amount of time for ourselves. When we wake up, a lot of you, the first thing you do is you hit social media. You're getting ready, you're listening to the news, you're listening to the radio, you go to work. On the way home from work, you're listening to the radio. When you get home, you spend a considerable amount of time on social media or watching TV. But how much time do you spend with yourself? Yes, that's a great point. And I was thinking about that earlier, like on your way from work, just taking time, like don't turn on the radio, just meditate. Meditation, you can do meditation anywhere. Like turn off the radio and just stop and listen to your thoughts. And then once you've calmed those thoughts down, then you can put your thinking into a more positive perspective. And some people say, oh, I can't just sit and quiet, that drives me crazy. Well, it's because your thoughts are probably all over the place, and you just need to quiet them down. You need to be able to quiet the noise.
Yes, and that'll in the background, you'll start to see yourself develop and grow more when you can like people will come at you the wrong way, and instantly some people are just going to react. But when you can meditate and silence your thoughts and really think through things, rationale comes into play, then you won't stoop to their level. You'll grow. You'll definitely grow.
You'll be able to rise above situations that would have ordinarily, had you act or respond in a certain way. You have to quiet the noise. Just by spending some time by yourself in a peaceful place, you can answer you'll be able to get some of the answers to your questions. People oftentimes seek other people for advice, but if you just take some time to spend with yourself, really do an evaluation of whatever the problem, situation, or circumstance is, and be able to do it with a clear mind, you can find some own answers to your questions, some of your own solutions to your problems.
Exactly. Yeah. Finding solutions to your own problems. Focus on you. Focus on the right things. So too many times are we focused on the wrong things. Things that don't even probably really involve you, but you focused on it. Like, just redirect all of your energy to yourself, especially when you are striving to grow. Like, that's the main thing. And don't worry about other people's opinions, what other people are going to think of you. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. It's your life.
Forget the naysayers.
Yes, it's your life.
Because they're going to talk regardless, whether you're doing good or bad.
Exactly.
People talk, and sometimes they talk too much.
So yeah, just focus on the right thing, which is you in that situation, to help move yourself forward and grow into the person you want to be.
All right. Well, that was a great video going over some of the barriers to growth and things that you can do to take yourself to the next level. So if you like the content in this video, go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and hit that like button. Also, if you like it, go ahead and share it with somebody. Don't be selfish. Share it with somebody who needs it. Share it on your social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, wherever you can share it. Go ahead and hit that share button. Subscribe. If you go into the search and type in Miranda Heart to Heart, you can find me on YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe to the Miranda Heart to Heart YouTube channel. Until the next video, you guys, love yourselves and love each other. Take care. Bye.